All right, this is Mr. Matthews trying to do his very best quick review video. So it's not going to be perfect, but hopefully you'll get what you need to get out of it. Looking at the measure a line segment section, we're going to be using our protractors, and we're using this inside ruler. That's centimeters, and then the little individual markings, remember, are your tenth of a centimeter. So looking at this first one, I'm going to line up the 0 at one of the 2 points on my line segment. I'm going to extend it out this way. I'm going to see here, and I can see that it's like 5.9. It's almost to the 6. But we're going to call that 5.9, and so I'm just going to write my answer 5.9 centimeters on that. And I keep going. I measure again by putting the 0 at one of the points and lining up my ruler. That one's maybe about the same actually. So we could put 5.9 centimeters for that one. It's 5.9 because it goes past the 5, doesn't reach the 6, and is 1 mark below the 6, or 9 marks past the 5, either way. Looking at this one, again, I line up my ruler with the 0 at the 1 point, and I can see that this one goes to the 3, and then about halfway to the 4, so we'll say that one is 3.5 centimeters. The next one's a little different. It's important for us to kind of make sure we understand how to do these. We have a longer line segment. It's like so long that it extends beyond the 10 of my ruler. If that happens, you're going to go over here and you're going to mark that spot. So that is where we got to with 10 centimeters. And then we're going to add or put the ruler back at that spot and measure the rest of the distance. So I'd say this is about 10.8 centimeters. I'll show you that again. So I measured this to 10. I made a mark at that 10 spot, and then I measured the rest of the distance from there to the end, and I added it all together. So that's your line segment measurement. Now, looking down here, use a protractor to measure the angles. So remember, with the protractor, looking at this, you're going to put this circle over the vertex. So we're going to take that, and we're going to put that on the vertex like that. And then we want to line up this line here with the line on your protractor. So it should be lined up something like that. And then we're just following the other arm out. First of all, I notice right away that this is an obtuse angle. And so because it's obtuse, I know actually that I should be using these numbers on the inside. The other reason is that because the arm that's on the bottom here is pointing this direction, I'm using the inner scale because that's where the 0 for the inner scale is. So I'm using this one. And I can see it's pointing out this direction. I'd say a little past 120. So maybe we'll call that 122, and I would write 122 degrees, just like that. So your numbers and then the little symbol for degrees. Got this next one. Now this one points the opposite direction. So the arm at the bottom is pointing over here. So that means I'm going to use the outer numbers, and I can see that it's pointing about halfway between 40 and 50. So we're going to call that 45 degrees. Sorry about the camera. And then we're going to write that that is acute. Okay, I'll keep going. Down here, you can probably tell right away what this one's going to be, but we'll measure it anyway. Line up my thing, line up my circle and my bottom arm. And I can see this is pointing at, well, if I get it right, it's pointing at 90. So that's going to be a 90-degree angle. And then that's going to be listed as a right angle as well. And I'll leave the other ones for you to do to practice. That's what the rest of that, but that's what you're doing on that page.